this regular board meeting of the Honorable Board of Police Commissioners to order. We'll have roll call of commissioners. Commissioner Cruz.
Here.
Commissioner Williams. Commissioner Williams is here, I believe.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you the first time. Commissioner Lyons.
Here.
And Commissioner Roach is present. So for the record, we have a quorum. Entertain a motion to accept the minutes of the regular board meeting from August 20th.
So moved.
That's been moved by Commissioner Lyons and seconded by Commissioner Cruz. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, the minutes are accepted. On to reports. Chief of Police. Good evening, Chief, and you have the floor.
Good evening. How's everybody?
Good.
So far, so
Great.
good.
Thank you.
Good to see you. I know I wasn't there last month meeting. I was away. Just a couple things I wanted to update you guys on. So this last week we were at a department head retreat, and one of the things that came out, something that we had already begun to work on, but I just want to make you aware of, is that recently we've had an uptick in our police officer involved motor vehicle accidents, and we've taken steps to address that with there's been some disciplinaries that have come out, which include retraining. And also we've begun to do a messaging where we're just advising our officers about the importance of motor vehicle safety, particularly when they're responding to calls and the emergency operation mode. So we've undertaken steps to do that. And then the city attorney's office pointed out that we've had a number of claims, or a good amount of their claims are from the police department as well as public facilities related to motor vehicle accidents. So we are taking steps to address that as much as we possibly can. So I just want to start off with that in case you guys get some information regarding motor vehicle accident claims and things of that nature. In terms of our our crime stats, we're pretty even on pace as we were last year. Our even though we've had an uptick in some gun incidents the last couple of weeks, we do remain lower than this time last year. As you've seen, unfortunately, we had a couple of homicides the last couple of weeks, one of which was a domestic homicide. But our homicides are still considerably lower than they were this time last year. But as we know, one homicide is too many. So we do have a total of 9 homicides at this point, and of that 9, we've solved, I believe, 6 of those, and we do anticipate solving the remaining homicides that we've had thus far this year. One of those incidents, I think, solved itself. Our prime suspect committed suicide later that morning. But overall, our crime stats are pretty steady as they were this time last year. But we continue to strive to keep our stats down as much as we possibly can. I wanted to share that in the coming weeks, in October, we're going to have a couple of symposiums, and you guys will all receive an invitation to be a part of this if you'd like. The first one is going to be on October 1st. It's a domestic violence symposium where we're going to have members from the Center for Family Justice, and we're just going to talk about the importance of domestic violence. We're going to talk about recognizing the signs of domestic violence. We're going to have our domestic violence unit on hand to talk about how we investigate domestic violence calls. So that will be October 1st. It's going to be at the University of Bridgeport from 6 to 8. And all of the information will be on our website, and we'll send it to you. It's in conjunction with the University of Bridgeport. So I want to be sure to make sure that everyone knows that. And later in October, we have not determined an exact date yet, but we're going to have another symposium also at the University of Bridgeport in conjunction with the University of Bridgeport. And it's on the police accountability bill. And this is one that I really hope that some of you will come out for. We're going to have the Inspector General's office in Bridgeport, and they are going to discuss the police accountability bill. And we're going to just talk about the investigations that they do. And Lieutenant Razum, who's on this video, will be there to talk about how the internal affairs process plays into the police accountability bill. And I think it'll be a very good, informative symposium not only for the public, but you guys as well, if you would like to attend. So we'll make sure you get the dates for those events that are going to be coming up. Also on October 9th is the Center for Family Justice's annual domestic violence vigil. That'll be at the amphitheater, and I will be one of the one of the MCs. So again, you all are welcome to come out to that. It's a really important, it's a really nice night to recognize and honor those who were victims of domestic violence and just talk about ways that we can reduce domestic violence throughout the region. So if any of you guys are available, please, we'll share that information as well on our site as well. A couple of things I will touch on really quickly. I don't think the last time I was here, the class hadn't started. So we have a recruit class in the training academy. We have 26 in that class. We started out with over 30, but a few of them the first week just decided that it wasn't what they wanted to be a part of at this time. So they dropped out. We did bring on 3 laterals as well. So, and they're on the road already, the lateral. So we have a recruit class in the academy, and we did hire 3 laterals. And the prior class that graduated back in, I believe it was May, they are on their own now. They completed the FTO training, and they are out on the road on their own. So that's going well. We are testing, civil services having a test. We are going to be doing the oral portion of the testing soon. So we anticipate having a list ready to go sometime early next year of more people who will be entering the police training academy class. Additionally, we are still looking to hire laterals. As a matter of fact, I got a call today, and there's a lateral from another department that's going to be in my office on Friday for a chief's interview. And depending on how that goes, that person will begin the process of becoming a Bridgeport police officer as well. Couple other quick notes. Discipline hearings. I have a couple discipline hearings scheduled for September 30th. I believe there's 3. Our turnaround time is really quickly on our discipline, so we've been doing really well in having those hearings, and scheduling those hearings, having the hearings, and addressing those issues as quickly as we possibly can. We anticipate probably later this month or early next month that we're going to be promoting some sergeants. So you'll get invitations to that. We're going to have a sergeant's promotional ceremony where we're going to promote some sergeants. We had a very good list that came out. I'm really proud of this list. One of the things I'm really proud of most about this list, and I know Lieutenant Lyons is on this, obviously she's a part of this Zoom, is that back in the spring or late winter, we had a women's symposium where we talked about women in leadership, and a good number of our female officers came out and they were a part of that symposium, and they got to hear from other female leaders throughout the state. A former police chief, a current police chief in Plymouth, former Bridgeport Assistant Chief Karen Kozicki was a part of that, as well as Lieutenant Lyons and others. And I think one of the results of that symposium was that it really encouraged and inspired a lot of our female officers. So in the top 15 of this current promotional list, and I anticipate that over the next year or two, we will make up to 15. We have 5 females who are going to be promoted to sergeants. So I'm really, really proud about that we were able to have so many, that we were represented really well with females. And so we're going to be bringing on 5 more, at least 5 more. If we go beyond the 15, there may be more. There's more females on this list too. So I'm really, really proud. I believe in the top 20, there's probably another 2 or 3. So probably 7 or 8 in the top 20. So, but the first wave, we're definitely going to be putting some more female supervisors in line, which I think is really, really good. And I'm really proud of that. Today, I just got the final word. Our assistant chief will be coming on board. Everything's been signed, and he will be starting on September 30th, which is going to be a great addition. We are still budgeted for 1 more, so perhaps later this fall or early in the winter, we're going to possibly look to do another one, which will really help us provide some upper stability in the department, to really help myself and Deputy Chief Baraha. We've been kind of shouldering the burden for nearly 2 years, but it's really important that we have that upper leadership to kind of create the future. And that's what we look to do now, is just to plan for the future, plan to see what the department is going to be in the next 5 years or so. And that's going to be the next thing that we work on, is where we want to be in the next 5 years. So with that, we continue to anticipate 2025 with the possibility with the changes to the CMERS, and we're trying to calculate how many officers may retire or not. We do think the drop plan is a really good option, so we're really pushing that. So I'm hoping that some of the officers will take that, and that'll help us maintain some of our senior officers in the department. But besides that, I'll take any questions that you guys might have. I do want to mention, and I know Commissioner Roach is a big part of this, we've had some uptakes and some break-ins in some of our places, some properties throughout the city, some apartment complexes. So we're working with those communities to address that as much as we possibly can. So with that, I'll take any questions that you have.
And for the record, Commissioner Farrow has joined us, and thank you, Chief. Congratulations on the on attracting the laterals, number one, into your selection of assistant chief. That was a great move on your part, and I'm sure he's going to be a big addition, big help to you.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
Any questions or comments for the chief? Commissioner Cruz.
Here. Yeah, I did what Commissioner Roach just said. Congratulations. I think that's great news regarding the promotions and the laterals. I do have a question regarding, you mentioned something about the motor vehicle accidents regarding disciplines. Does that have to do with the fact that you don't need a police officer on site, and when they do show up, it doesn't pan out as well as it used to?
No, these are accidents that the police officers are involved in.
Oh,
They're
okay.
responding to calls. And there are times when, unfortunately, the officers are at fault. And so there's been some legal situations taken against the city. So those type of accidents.
Okay. Thank you.
But we are working to provide some more training and some more guidance, and just reminding our officers of the importance to drive safely for themselves and citizens as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the chief? Easy night for you, Chief. Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's always good. So all of those dates of those events, we will be. I know I had a conversation with Commissioner Williams regarding a couple of them, but all of those dates will be on our sites, and I'll make sure that Lieutenant Lyons send you guys the information directly, or so you'll have those dates if you want to come and be a part of those different symposiums that are coming up.
Good. And thank you again for your time. I know you mentioned, the uptick in vehicle break-ins and whatnot,
yeah.
But the tenants over at the Cherry Street lofts have already responded and appreciated not only your presence here, but the progress, the immediate progress that was made. They appreciate you getting a camera over there and everything else that we're trying to put together. So they wanted to make sure that they know that that it's appreciated.
No, my pleasure. And we hope that we want to do more, and we want to put a permanent camera in that area as well.
All right. Thanks again, Chief.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Have a great evening.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
We have no one from the union here this evening, but we do have the quarterly report from Internal Affairs. Lieutenant Rosen, good evening.
Good evening, Commissioners. Am I coming over? I want to make sure you guys can hear
Yep.
me.
Yeah, good evening.
Awesome. So, yeah, I got the quarterly report, the September report, third quarter of the year. I just wanted to give you guys an update on some of the statistics and what we've seen so far this year. I did email you the report as well. If you don't have that by the end of the night, just reach out. I'd be happy to get that to you. But so far in the year, we've launched 161 investigations. 64 of those are citizens' complaints. Now, at this point last year, we were at just over 80 citizens' complaints. So we're at about a 20% decrease in citizens' complaints. So that we're definitely trending in the right direction. And we're going to see, hopefully, if we could continue that trend, we'll be far less than we were in the last couple of years. As far as entry-level police background investigations, as the chief was saying, we put on a lot of classes in the last 2-3 years. So we completed 63 of those investigations, which is an 8% increase from last year, and 4 certified background investigations. And they added, they're on the road, as the chief was saying, so they added instant leadership to the different divisions and troops on the road already. Public safety telecommunications, the dispatchers, we're currently processing their background investigations. We have 4 of them, and then the next step will be detention officers for our booking facility. So we're definitely in need of assistance up in booking. So we're going to process them as quick as possible. And then again, we'll be gearing up for another round of police entry-level background investigations at the end of this year into next year, in hope to get another large academy class in the spring. As far in the year, completed Barrows disciplinary hearings. We've had 6 thus far. I know we have a few more planned out. I believe we have one for tomorrow night, and then we're going to have 1 or 2 we could possibly schedule for October. We just finished up an investigation, which I believe was just sent up to Lieutenant Lyons, who will deliver that to you. That was involving 3 officers. And then we're in the final stages of an additional one that will likely lead to sustained charges. For Chief's internal investigations, we've had 6 so far this year that we've completed that led to Laudermill hearings with sustained charges. We currently have 5 pending that we're working on. We're hoping to have those closed out relatively soon. 2, maybe 3 will lead again to sustained charges. And then just to touch on the staffing, just a reminder, we have 3 sergeants and 1 detective. So of course we're looking to add to assist with us a little bit. The guys are working hard, doing the best we can, but we are obviously low staffed. If we look at the historical benchmark, we are as low staffed going back to 1997, I think, as since the Barrows decree was instituted. We were using Sergeant Mike Carter for backgrounds. We pulled him in. He did a great job helping us out. He took on at least a dozen background investigations, which definitely helped out the guys down here, preventing burnout. But all in all, they're doing a great job. They're very efficient. When I was put down here in 2022, we had 402 open cases. We actually got it down to 120, so we decreased that workload by 69%. And that just attests to the efficiency and the process that the investigators are doing down there. They really are doing a great job. And just to conclude, again, as always, I want to thank you guys, the commissioners, and all your support you give to us, and you show up at all the meetings and do everything that we could possibly ask of you guys. So thank you. And if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer any.
Any questions for the lieutenant? No. A great job, by the way, Lieutenant. Those are great numbers, especially the amount of cases you have open. That decrease is big. Don't advertise that too much, though, if we're looking to expand your
Well, we're doing
personnel.
the best we can, but what happens is I get on them to close the cases, and then they get burnt out. It's tough.
I know, and you do a lot of them yourself, which is over and above what your job description calls for. I think we all understand that and appreciate it.
But what we're going to see now is we have 161 that came in this year, and we can't keep up with the amount coming in now that we're at this level. So I'm concerned that the levels are going to increase, and we might have hit our rock bottom unless we add that manpower. And there's definitely sergeants out there that are able, willing to come in, and there is an active sergeants list that we were waiting for as well. So
Very good.
Good, thank you.
All right, Lieutenant, thank you very much.
thank you, guys. Have a good evening.
Appreciate
Thank you, too.
Okay, moving on. There's nothing under new business. We have a couple items under old business, traffic matters that have been tabled. The first one was a request from the city engineer's office, the city traffic engineer, particularly not to approve the installation of a handicap request. 116 Garden Drive, I believe although the applicant claimed that they did not have permission, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lieutenant Lyons, but we were waiting for a letter from the landlord. That wasn't supplied to us last month. Is that right, or am I
So,
mistaken?
You are right. And originally I took a little blame for that because I didn't give her enough notice. So the commission was very generous to give her another month. After our meeting last month, I spoke to her right away. We got off the meeting. I spoke to her. I called her again last week. She said she was working on it. I told her I needed it by today, 6 p.m., and I have not yet received it.
Folks, I would suggest either tabling and giving the applicant another shot, or a motion to approve the city traffic engineer's request. I think those are our two options. Any thoughts?
I disagree with the city traffic engineer, so we can wait.
Is that a motion to continue to table?
That's correct.
All right, is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Lyons. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion to table is granted. Next item was another table request for handicap parking sign. And from what I could see, that it was tabled because the handicap placard had expired. And I'm sorry, I know Commissioner Farrow chaired the meeting last month, but from what I read in the minutes, I believe that was the case. Has there been any progress to your knowledge, Lieutenant?
So we did provide an updated one last month. It was tabled because the commission didn't like my screen sharing. If you guys remember my screen sharing. No, they wanted to possibly somebody wanted to possibly drive by. She says that the driveway was very thin, but then in front of the gate there was space, and it was suggested that somebody drive by and take a look. So I don't know if anyone was able to drive by 77 Elm.
No, I think I offered to drive by and I didn't get a chance to do that. Sorry. I will do that.
Anybody care? Should we move to table once again?
So move.
It's been moved by Commissioner Williams. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Cruz. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that matter is also table. We have nothing in correspondence, and nothing letters of appreciation or widow's pensions for that matter. So we'll move to the city traffic engineer's report. And
Sir?
Yes.
Just because before we get into that, because I know we all enjoy the last part of which is when we adjourn. We skipped the clerk's report. We have
Oh,
one.
gee, I my apologies.
Sorry.
I forgot you were here. No, I'm sorry about that.
That's right.
Geez, I jumped straight from internal affairs. I'm sorry. Can we go back to the 2D, the clerk's report? Thank you, Lieutenant.
Of course, we have one hearing that we have to schedule, as Lieutenant Rosa mentioned. We do have 3 officers in that hearing. I haven't really gotten to take a look. Dolores sent it over today. I didn't get to take a look to see how in-depth this might be, but there are 3 involved in the one complaint.
So we need to
Schedule a date.
we need to schedule.
Yes, sir.
The only thing that
I'm not sure. I know we originally planned for tomorrow, but I'm not sure if we're going to necessarily have a quorum tomorrow. So if we can double check that, otherwise we can maybe plan them both in the same night if we need to reschedule.
Okay. You've spoken with the commissioners and you don't expect a quorum tomorrow night?
I'm not sure. I know Commissioner Diaz is.
I know he's ill tonight. When I spoke to him today, he did say, there was a possibility he'd be available.
Okay. And I
Who
know
else?
Lyons has something previous going on. He's not sure if he can make it on time.
Okay.
So that's maybe, I mean, we can try tomorrow and just go for it, like.
Commissioner Cruz, Pharaoh, Commissioner Williams.
I
Uh,
teach tomorrow.
Tomorrow's a teaching day.
Yes.
All right, so I guess we need to hear from Commissioner Diaz to see if we have a quorum tomorrow, or do you want to reschedule a later date? And Wednesday nights are teaching nights for you, Commissioner Williams?
This is my last evening.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay,
There might be an agreement, it's just, I don't think they spoke yet. So if there is one, we might be able to have Commissioner Lyons or Commissioner Diaz on the phone. But I haven't, I mean, a recommendation, not agreement, a recommendation, but they haven't come to one quite yet.
okay. Is and I'm sorry if I don't recall, but is the officer on administrative leave right now?
No, sir.
No, okay, so it's not, it's not something that's time sensitive that we want to move along to get them back to work.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so it's up in the air, it's questionable, because I'm gonna be tied up till 5 o'clock tomorrow. And then I need to know where we're gonna meet.
I mean, right now we're on for 6, but
Oh, okay,
um,
tentatively 6 tomorrow.
yeah,
So we
and
hear
I would
otherwise.
say, Lieutenant, if we determine that Commissioner Diaz won't be available either remotely or in person, we'll get an email out to everybody saying that it's postponed. Meanwhile, let's, as far as a date for the other hearing is and the first week of October doesn't work for me. Other than that, any other days is the and well, let me ask this question: how much time is needed for both sides on this, Lieutenant? Is there any indication that?
I haven't gotten to read it over. It is my impression it might be a possible similar case to one that we have with the violation of one of the someone's rights.
Okay.
So I'm not
All right.
sure if it's going to blow into something bigger or be small.
All right. If the second week in October.
On
Is that-
Tuesday, if Commissioner Williams is not available neither Wednesday or Thursday, right? So it's Tuesday, good?
Yes.
With that Tuesday, I think is it the 9th or
8th.
the 8th? Tuesday, October 8th?
Sounds good.
Seem to work okay? All right. Let's shoot for that then.
But tentatively tomorrow, this is if we definitely.
Yeah,
can't.
as of now, we're on. And if we don't have a quorum, we'll move it to that night as well.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Lieutenant, anything else?
That's it for me, sir.
All right, great, thanks. Sorry. Okay, going to the city traffic engineer is items under 8A, crosswalks and ramps at Bear Street and Sedgwick, and also a stop control on Bear Street. And so he is the city traffic engineer recommends approval. And unless there's any questions, oh, I'm sorry, we got 2 other items also. Maybe we should go through all of them. Unless there's a problem, we just combine them and vote on all of them. The next item is speed humps on Atlantic Street. This has kind of been a long time in coming. Atlantic Street runs, this is a stretch along the edge of Seaside Park. where there is occasional, I wouldn't say drag racing, but cars that like to take advantage of the long stretch of road. And it's close to, like I say, it abuts the park, and a lot of folks using the park, including young kids. So this one was strongly recommended. Installation of a handicap sign on 120 East Avenue, where all the criteria was met. If there's no issues, I would recommend a motion to combine those items and approve the request of the city traffic engineer. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? One other item, we received a report back from the city traffic engineer later this afternoon, and council persons Newton and I believe Martinez were interested in expediting this. So instead of waiting for next month's agenda, there was a request for a four-way stop at Claremont and Summerfield Avenue. The city traffic engineer, I spoke to him today. They had completed their survey, and he sent a recommendation letter late this afternoon recommending approval. So I would ask the board if to move to suspend the rules to add that item on the agenda first, and then we can make a motion to either approve or otherwise.
Do we have that report?
I
Yeah, it
just forwarded the recommendation, as the commissioner said, came in a little late. I just forwarded the recommendation.
Right.
To try to find the actual request right now.
and insufficient intersection site distance. The sight line on I believe it's Claremont Avenue is not level. And well, if you have a chance to bring it up, otherwise is therefore based on the existing intersection, the recommendation to install an always stop control at Claremont and Summerfield, and no parking. I'm
I just
sorry.
sent the original request, sir, and it has the pictures and stuff as you speak.
Oh, okay. All right.
Can we take a minute
Sure.
to look at that, please?
Please.
Okay.
Please.
Commissioner Roach, when an approval from the traffic engineer's office says, the signs will be replaced, where did I saw it? Upon availability of funds, right? So that is that immediate? That's down the road?
Well, it's vague. I mean, let's face it, but they have been fairly good. Sometimes it takes a few months, and it's not a question, I don't know whether availability of funds, it's the availability of the signs. I mean, the signs are ordered bulk. Sometimes they have them in stock, so to speak, and sometimes they don't. But generally speaking, they've been pretty good about it.
Okay.
Not perfect. It's not going up tomorrow, but you know, and if it's not up in the next month or so, I'm sure that the council folk, Councilman Newton will be checking in on it.
Yeah, no, I was just curious because I
Yeah.
know they've approved quite a number of them, and so,
No,
do
that's-
they,
yeah.
do they install them in the order of approval or
Usually,
priority?
yeah, usually, unless it's a priority situation where, for whatever circumstances warrant something to be sped up, so to
Mhm.
speak.
They're fairly quick.
No, they've been pretty good. Occasionally they get behind, and it's usually when, they're out of stock on certain signs.
Yeah, the one on Gregory Street has been up for a couple of months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Gregory and
First, we'll need a motion to suspend the rules to add the item to the agenda. Commissioner Farrow,
I'll
Is there-
move to do that. Yeah,
okay,
this could have been done a long time ago, but go ahead.
is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Lyons. We need unanimous consent, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, the item is on the agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve the request.
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Commissioner Farrow, seconded by Commissioner Lyons. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, it's been approved. Thank you. Next items are under B. These are items that the city traffic engineer is requesting us not to approve, starting with the installation of no through truck signs on Newfield Avenue between Stratford Avenue and Seaview. That is the request is to deny. I don't think any action is necessary, but it's not our call. Any truck no through truck requests have to go to the state Department of Transportation, and according to Powell, it has been referred to the state traffic administrator. I don't think any, and we can motion to, we can make a motion to deny or to approve the request to deny based on that, or we don't necessarily have to take any action at all since it's already been referred.
Okay, yeah, there shouldn't be any action taken. It's
Right,
not.
okay, so we'll have that taken off the agenda, no action necessary. The second one is a request for a handicap sign at 45 Renwick Drive. The applicant, it appears that the applicant admits that there's a driveway and is not claiming that the applicant is barred from the driveway, but nothing further. So the recommendation of the city traffic engineer is not to approve. Any discussion?
Are we following the same protocol as we do all of them?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Seems to be consistent.
Okay.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the request of the city traffic engineer? Which is not to approve the handicap parking request?
I guess my question was concerning the landlord.
Well, the box, well, the applicant stated that they weren't restricted from the driveway.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, is there a motion to approve the request?
I'm trying to find that, Roach. I only see that they're on the street. They want the handicap sign right in front of their home on the street.
Mhm.
Where does it say the driveway?
No, they don't. They have access to the driveway. They're not claiming they
They have-
don't
I'm
have
sorry.
access to the driveway.
Yes, gotcha.
Number 5.
There's been a motion. I'm sorry,
I see that.
Commissioner Williams?
No, I was letting her know what number. what
Oh,
question
okay.
it
I'm
was.
sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Anybody care to make a motion?
I have a question. What were the ones we tabled? I'm a little.
Those folks had indicated that the driveway was off limits, but they did not have anything from the landlord stating that.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's
I
what
just thought it was
we're
one
giving.
way.
Yeah, we're giving that one applicant an extra month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought it was 2 we had tabled.
Yeah, they're right there under old business on the first page.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, the other one had to do with an expired placard.
Okay.
That we've already tabled those.
Yeah.
Retabled them, I should say.
Okay. Can we make a motion? Sorry, is it on the table?
No, just waiting on a motion to approve the city traffic engineer's request.
Okay, I make a motion
All
to
right.
approve the city engineer's request.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Lyons. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Before we go, I haven't had a chance to thank Dolores, who's been doing a great job taking care of our Zoom meetings. Dolores, are you yeah, Dolores, pop in there and say hello. Let everybody see your face.
Wait, is it working? Hold on. I don't know if my camera's gonna work.
What happened? There you go. All right.
Hi.
Dolores works in internal affairs, and she's been doing a great job in there. And Lieutenant Rosen swears by her. So, but she's been she's been taking care of our Zooms for several months now, and I keep on forgetting to acknowledge her. And so I want to make sure we all get a chance to say hi and thank you.
No problem at all.
And you continue to do a great job.
Thank
As
you.
not just at our meetings, but overall. I'm in internal affairs on occasion, and she's always doing a hell of a job in there. So anyway, thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Unless there's anything else, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
It's been moved by Commissioner Lyons, seconded by Commissioner Farrell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, thanks, folks. I guess we'll see you tomorrow,
Okay,
God willing.
so
Okay.
one.
Everyone have a good night.
Thanks.
Bye,
everyone.
Dolores. Thanks again.
Blessings to
No
all.
problem.
And
I don't know who you are.